let's just get right into what sold over the past week. And this is just some of the items I'm going to show you. I'm not going to show you everything. And stay to the very end so you can see my totals of what I paid for everything and what everything sold for. I love picking up needle point kits, but I had never heard of this brand before. I'm not sure who the exact maker is because it does say Johnson Creative Arts at the bottom, but then it also says Frederick Warren and Company. I picked this up with another one. This one is Mrs. Rabbit and the other one is Peter Rabbit. I picked them up each for $1 and somebody just sent me an offer on this one for $60 and I accepted. I have only had these listed for a couple of weeks. Big Little Books. I purchased around 20 of them and I have sold more than half of them so far. I paid $4 each for them and they were all listed at different prices. The quality of them is not that good, but they are from the early 40s. But this one is from 1938. They just weren't really well taken care of. So I have $4 into this, and this one sold for $15. Look at this cute cookie jar. This is something I don't typically pick up because I don't know a whole lot about it. And when I was at this sale, they had hundreds and hundreds, probably even over 1,000 different owls. This was one of them. I just thought it looked very mid-century modern. And I know a lot of people really after that look right now. So I did pay $20 for it without even knowing the value of it because I couldn't find any others like it. And I had it listed for $125. And somebody just reached out to me and asked if they could buy it for $106. And I accepted, and that's plus shipping because I don't do free shipping. I have this big Fitz and Floyd box to ship out today. I am not going to take it out because it is just too much of a hassle, but I will show you some screenshots up here of what it looks like. It is a beautiful one. I went to an estate sale probably about 3 months ago, and I went on the last day and everything was half off. They had their Fitz and Floyd priced really, really high. So when I got this one, I got it half off for $67. And that was still really high, but I knew eventually this one would sell for pretty decent money because it is so pretty and it is pretty rare. I ended up selling it for $225. It has probably been a couple years now since I purchased a whole bunch of curtains. I went to somebody's garage sale and in their barn they had boxes and boxes of brand new curtains. I paid $3 for each package and this one sold for $28 for both of them. So I figure it was a pretty decent deal and they have slowly been selling. I've sold almost all of them now. Pick up these canning jar books because they definitely sell. I've sold so many in the past few months, all different kinds. And so I paid $3 for this one and it sold for $20. I can't remember where I purchased these, but I know that we just got them listed. And I think I only picked them up just a couple months ago and I just let them sit there and I didn't list them. So they are, this one is War Department Technical Manual, Department of Air Force Technical Order, Electrical Fundamentals. They look like they are all Army manual type of things. This one is milling machine motor driven. Anyway, I did not know what the value was. I only paid $3 for this whole bunch and they just sold for $71. So always keep your eyes open for old manuals like this, especially if they're military. In my last video, you would have seen that I sold that gunny sack dress. And gunny sack was created by Jessica McClintock. That was her line of clothes back in the 60s and 70s, I think all the way through the 80s and possibly the early 90s. Well, her son had joined her in the 80s and he had a line of clothes and his name was Scott McClintock. And this was one of his items. So I believe this one is from the 80s, not as vintagey. It doesn't have that cute little prairie look that a lot of the gunny sack dresses have. This definitely has an 80s vibe for sure. So I picked this up in a estate sale for $20, probably about 6 or 7 months ago, and it just sold for $68. I picked up this Barry Manilow CD set at an estate sale for $1, and it just sold for $11.47. I thought it would sell for a little bit more than that, but then I realized it was missing a VHS that it had in there. But I still made a little bit of money on it. I went to a huge estate sale a few weeks ago. It was way out in the country. It took me about an hour to get there. And I bought a ton of stuff there. I actually saw all of these Limax carnival rides in the photos. So as soon as they opened, I went straight for it. And so did a lot of people, but they were priced way too high. I think they had $65 on each one of them. So I went around the wholesale and bought a whole bunch of other stuff that I was really happy with. And then right when I was ready to go, I was there for a couple hours. I asked the owner of the estate sale if I could purchase them all, I would pay $30 for each one. I said, nobody's buying them. I said they might be priced a little bit too high. He accepted. So I got each one for $30. And this one sold for $135. This is the Duck Hunt. They are all really super cool. In my listing on this one, I put a video, and I'm going to do that with all of them. If you go into my store and look for the Limax, you can watch the video on all of them. It's pretty cool. This book was written by Henry Camel Black. So it's called Black's Law Dictionary. This is a 5th edition. I went to another reseller, Wade Ventures. He was having a huge sale at his house. He buys up storage units, and a couple times a year, he'll have a really big sale, and they are awesome. He had boxes and boxes of books, and a lot of them were law books. So I did pick up quite a few law books, but you really have to look them up to see if they're worth something, because a lot of times they are just not valuable. Maybe the literature in them is just too old and they don't have those laws anymore. I don't know exactly why, but I just know that some of them could be very valuable and some of them just won't even sell on eBay at all. So I only paid $1 for this one, and it sold for $65. Here is a book. It's brand new in its factory sealed package. I was at a sale where there were hundreds and hundreds of books, and there were 2 other resellers there that they go after the books, and they work in a team, and they just really start picking through them, which I'm fine. I really like them, and I am just learning about books. So there were a couple other bookcases that I just stayed away from them and went and did my own thing at these other bookcases. This one, when I looked it up, I finally found one that was listed, but there were no sold comps on it. So I just took my chance and bought it. I paid $10 for it, but it just sold for $95.63. So that was amazing. It is, I can't even pronounce it, but this is the title right here. Definitely a coffee table book. This is a little Marine Corps pamphlet. I may have gotten it at that sale with those other military ones. I paid $1 for this, and it sold for $10. Here is another Limax item that I bought at that sale. This one was a little bit smaller, so they gave me this one for $20. And I just sold this one for $90. This little kitty, it's a Willet. I bought about 10 to 15 of them at a garage sale a couple summers ago, and I only have a couple left. I have sold almost all of them. I paid $4 for this one, and it sold for $24. Keep your eyes out. You can identify them because their whiskers are made of metal with a little porcelain ball at the tip of all of them. This is a vintage Avon piece. It's a mirrored vanity, and you just set it on your dresser or in your bathroom. I paid $2 for it, and it sold for $18. I was helping a friend of a friend do an estate sale. We were just cleaning out and pricing and everything. And so the day of the estate sale, I let everybody, buy what they wanted. And then I kind of picked some things after the sale was already going. I didn't want to have first choice on everything. But one thing that I did pick up a lot of is Pfaff sewing items. That is Pfaff. If you find these, look them up. They are very valuable. I have sold so many of them from that sale. This one I paid her $20 for, and it sold for $119. So keep your eyes open for these items. I picked up these railroad booklets. They're all vintage. I got them probably close to a year ago. I paid $5 for the whole lot, and they just sold for $44. I sold a whole lot of vintage postage stamps last video, and now the same person came back and bought my last lot of these stamps that I have. And like I said in my last video, I don't know anything about stamps, so there could be something really valuable in all of these stamps. I paid $5 for this lot, and it sold for $36.40. Did you see in my last video I sold those Blissy pillowcases? They are mulberry silk, and I sold 2 of them to 2 different people for $50 each. I had been sitting on those for about a year and nobody bought them, and all of a sudden I am sold out of them now. I paid $3 for each set. I think I had 6 or 8 of them, and I just sold my last 3 to one person, and they paid $149.91 for 3 of them. And then they messaged me and asked if I had any more. Unfortunately, I do not, but keep your eyes open for these silk pillowcases. I had never heard of them and I had never purchased them before, but I will be looking for them again. And here is another Limex from that sale. So I paid $30 for this. It's called the Cha-Cha Carnival Ride. This one is really cute. So if you go into my store and look under solds, you can see the video on this one. It is my favorite video out of all the videos that I did on these carnival rides. So I paid $30 and it sold for $125. I picked up 5 of these loaf pans from an estate sale. They wanted $1 each for them, so I grouped 2 of them together and then 3 of them together. I believe they are commercial grade. Restaurants use them. They are called Volrith stainless steel loaf pans. So I have $1 into each one of these, so I paid $2 for this set, and it sold for $28. And then for my last item, at that same sale that they had all of those owls at, they had 3 Apollo models. Before I went, I could see the photos and I could kind of look them up, but I just couldn't find any sold comps on them. And when I got there, they were really expensive. So I ended up paying $65 a piece, just hoping that they would do well, but not being able to find any sold comps on them. Well, I just sold my first one for $240, and I still have 2 left. So that was definitely a good pickup. So that is it. And if you're watching this video now, you know from watching my last video that I was going to go into surgery for my knee, and I have already had it by the time you're watching this video. Hopefully I'm recovering well, and I'm going to be able to put out some more videos very soon. Thank you for all of your support. I really appreciate every single one of you. So thank you so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up if you like this. Always hit the bell if you want to be notified. And please subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I will see you on the next video.